Hello. This is your girl, Miss Manlovu. I am currently doing a trip from Cape to Cairo, so from South Africa all the way up north to Egypt. We'll be showing you different landscapes, different foods, different cultures, in the hope of sharing some of the beauty, some of the interesting things that you can do when you travel to different countries in Africa. Come join me on the journey. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Let's do this journey together as we learn more about our beautiful African continent. Hello. It's your girl, Miss T, signing in for another video. So I will be doing a video today on the highs and lows of South Africa. So without any further ado, what are the highs and lows of the beautiful rainbow nation of South Africa? So I am going to be using some notes because a girl's memory has got to be sharp, and I want to give you my well thought out sentiments on the subject. So we'll start with the low lights so that we can end on a high. So first thing that I didn't like about South Africa would say, okay, we'll start from, I've got 4 things that stand out, and we'll start from number 4. Unemployment. There is significant unemployment within the country, and what happens is it just leads to a huge disparity between the haves and the have-nots. And so it's just difficult to see if you go to like some of the townships, and then there's a lot of homeless people living in the streets. Some places you actually see camps set up. So I think that's one thing. That's number 4. Number 3 will be discrimination. So for those that don't know, South Africa was an apartheid state, and what that meant was that there was a demarcation between races. So people of different races didn't really mix. You had like your white side, you had your black side, you have your mixed race, or as they call it, colored side, and you had your Indian side. So people of different races were assigned to live in different parts of the country, different parts of the city. And so when South Africa gained independence in 1994, some of these things, or there was an attempt to try and make a coalition, but then, as you can imagine, it's only been about 30 years since South Africa got independence, and therefore remnants of this division or this discrimination can still be seen in some places. And I think it stood out to me a lot because I found myself in places where I just got stares where I don't expect to get stares, if you know what I mean. Like, I'm African in Africa, and was unwelcome in certain places, and I'm like, guys, it's 2024, like, we shouldn't still be in this zone. And then from conversations with people who live and work there, apparently this can actually sometimes be apparent within the working world. And so, like, you go to some establishments, you get the look up and down. Sometimes they tell you they don't have tables, personal experience, and then someone of a different race goes and asks for a table, and all of a sudden, like magic, they got space. So yeah, I found that a little bit difficult to pilot because sometimes it can be quite in your face. Number 2, load shedding. Load shedding, like good and bad. The load shedding is when the electricity goes out for a period of time because I want to say the country doesn't have enough energy. I don't know, like any South Africans or anyone who knows better about why load shedding is the way it is, please comment below, and then I will pin your comment for other people to get a better understanding. But yeah, so load shedding, so electricity goes out at certain times of the day, so you could just be chilling watching whatever you're watching on telly, and electricity says no, stop, go outside, which is cool if you're just chilling. But if you're actually working, which I wasn't, but if you're working or you're doing something that you need to be doing, a lot of people have generators and inverters, but yeah, it can be quite inconvenient because you kind of have to plan your day around when you'll have electricity or not, because even sometimes things like your fridge or even cooking, if you don't have like a gas cooker and stuff. So yeah. Number 1, the number 1 thing that I don't like about South Africa is just the hyper consciousness, that the high level of consciousness you have to have in relation to safety. Yeah, there's a lot of criminality that goes on, people just having stuff stolen, with the threats of weapons and stuff. Touch wood, in all the years I've been going to South Africa, this has never happened to me. I think for me, I have just been covered by the blood of Jesus, in addition to just taking the safety precautions. I'm not out at night on my own. I don't flash around stuff. I very much listen as much as I can to people, locals, speaking to locals about where's safe and where's not safe to go, and listening to that advice. Yeah, and then minimizing the places I go on my own, where I'm just literally like walking around in a place where it's not like a public space. I don't know. I don't think there's a hard and fast rule because you just hear so many stories, but just having to be hyper vigilant about safety can be quite exhausting sometimes. So sometimes I'm just like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just gonna chill, enjoy my accommodation. Yeah, but it's not that you can't get around, it's just being conscious and being aware, asking the questions you have to ask, not walking around, not flashing, not flashing valuables and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was my number 1. However, I have more things that I love about South Africa, which is why I will continue to go there over and over and over and over and over again. Just because, like, South Africa is a vibe, my guys. Like, South Africa is an actual vibe. Like, if you know Amapiano, if you don't know Amapiano, what rock have you been living under? Anyway, let me gist you. Just do a search on Amapiano dance moves, and then Amapiano playlist with dance moves. Just watch the videos. Like, these people just know how to have a good time in spite of anything that is going on. Like, South Africa is a vibe, my guys. Like, yeah, they know how to have a good time. So in addition to the vibe, I'll go through what else I love about South Africa. I'll give you a top 5. Stay tuned to my number 1, because I have a little surprise for you. Yeah? Cool. So number 5, I would say ease of getting around. You can use Uber, they've got Bolt. Although some people recommend not to use Bolt just because there have been incidents with Bolt drivers. However, I've used Bolt. I haven't had any issues. Met actually quite a lot of cool people, but so just be mindful and careful. The difference is with Uber drivers, they're all vetted and checked. So you know exactly, well, you have an idea that your driver's been vetted before they're coming to pick you up and taking you wherever you say you've got to go. And then you can also use taxis, which is like local minivans. In Zimbabwe we call them makombi. In East Africa you also call them matatu. I'm still to find out what they call them in parts of West Africa. And then there's buses that go between cities. There's low-cost flights. This is a vibe. There's low-cost flights that actually go between cities in South Africa, which chef's kiss. Can we have some low-cost flights in Zimbabwe? Please. Just low-cost flight means under $100, ladies and gentlemen. So you have low-cost flights, you have the buses, and then you have the train. I'm still to experience the train, but yeah, that's also an option. Then number 4, it's quite developed. So like you can find, like in the big cities, you can find more or less anything that you may want or need. The 2 cities I've mainly been to are Cape Town and Joburg, and in those 2 cities, like, it's quite diverse, and therefore, yeah, you find people who have settled from different parts of the world, and therefore, like, whatever, you can have whatever you like. You can have whatever you like. A lot of things seem to work so long you're not dealing with government offices, which is quite cool. So, but like as a traveler, I don't think you need to deal with that a lot. You can get a SIM card, you can get access to the bank, you can get your cash converted, you can withdraw cash from the bank, restaurants, transport, like all the basic things you need as a visitor are very, very easy to access, which is pretty cool. Number 3. Ooh. Okay, number 3 is tough. We're getting to the tough bits. I'd say number 3 is the diversity, which is kind of linked to your ability to get whatever you want. There are people of like coming from all parts of the world, all parts of Africa living, because like there's a lot of business. It's like one of the Joburg is one of the financial hubs of Africa, one of the biggest financial hubs of Africa, and therefore you have a lot of international businesses with their headquarters in Joburg, and that also means that you have people from all over the world coming to work in these offices, which then means people from different parts of the world is different access to different things, which is, yeah, it's pretty cool. I think for me, I like it because you then get to meet and interact with different types of people, learning about different cultures and all that kind of stuff, which is pretty cool. Then the next one, which is number 2, kind of linked to the diversity, is the culture. So South Africa has one of the highest number of official languages that I know. They have 12 official languages, and what I have seen and experienced in all my visits to South Africa is how important culture is among South Africans, and the cultures are so rich, so beautiful, so vibrant, and they're celebrated in so many different ways, within the food, within dance, within art, the language. And so I think that is beautiful. If you ever have the opportunity to visit South Africa, I would encourage you to just learn a little bit more about like some of the different South African tribes and cultures and how they do different things. So you have like different rituals or traditions around marriage, around the coming of harvest season, around childbirth, around the coming out of men and women. It's like, yeah, just so much richness in culture, which is amazing to have the opportunity to learn about and experience. And then number one, there's just so much to do, guys. Almost anything you can think of doing, you could probably do it in South Africa. And I think, yeah, please tell me what you are unlikely to be able to do in South Africa. Most things you can probably do. So they've got deserts down south, they've got beaches, they've got mountains, they've got lakes, they've got rivers. They've got like lots of adventure, adrenaline type activities for you to do. If you just want to chill, enjoy nature, just bask in the sun, you've got the opportunity to do that. There's so many places you can do that. If you're into your drinks, your grown-up drinks, they've got so many beautiful vineyards. They've got they make their own beers, they make gins, they make whiskeys. Like, tell me, what might you want to do that you don't think you can do? Like, the restaurant, the food game is like, because like I said, it's one of the biggest financial hubs within Africa. So you have a lot of like big chefs moving from different parts of the world trying to set themselves up in South Africa. And guess what? At the cost, well, I'm speaking from someone who lives in the West, or who lived in the West. I don't know whether I live in the West or I lived in the West at this point. I'm a nomad, but in comparison to what you pay to get into the high-end restaurants in the West, in South Africa, it is so much more economical, it's so much more affordable, and the food is beautiful. And yeah, so much to do. I'm just thinking, what have I done? I skydived in South Africa. My friend went cage shark diving in South Africa. I've hiked, swam in the ocean, sent some people to go quad biking in the desert, the Atlantis desert. Yeah, but you can bungee jump in South Africa. Like, I'm trying to think what else. Quad biking, nature hikes, camping, safaris, cultural experiences, like wine tasting. Yeah, let me know what you'd like to do in the comments below if I haven't already mentioned it, and then I will double check whether or not, and I'll let you know where exactly you can do it in South Africa, because the country is just jam-packed, made for anybody who wants to just go and have a good time and celebrate. And then number one is just nature. I've kind of touched on it. Oh no, sorry, that was my number one. My two bonus amazing things about South Africa is the nature and the food. I've kind of touched on the food, diversity, affordable. You're trying out lots of different stuff. Like, there are a lot of experimental chefs. I don't know. There's a lot of creativity in the food space in South Africa, which makes for great food, because people love to eat, and therefore it just pushes the chefs over the edge to experiment and do more, do better. And so yeah, if you're into your culinary adventures, they've got you covered. Don't sleep on them. And then nature, like they've got it all. I feel like they've got it all. They've got the mountains, they've got the valleys, they've got the hills, they've got the ranges, they've got the wide savannah with the animals. You can go on safari, you've got the beaches, you've got the ocean. Another really cool thing about if you're in the south of South Africa, you have the point where the Atlantic meets the Pacific, and oh man, I wish I had a camera at the time when I went there, but like you can literally see the water going in different directions, which is pretty cool. And then it's also different colors, apparently because the depth of the water of the seabed is different, which I thought was really, really cool. And yeah, desert, what else? Like, yeah, they've got it all. Nature, for my nature people, South Africa got you covered. And so yeah, I think that is everything for my highs and lows on South Africa. And please let me know what else you'd consider as your highs or lows for South Africa, because would love to get to continue this conversation. And I hope I'm not too biased, guys. It's just South Africa has a very special place in my heart, and so yeah. Thank you for watching this video. Please, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. Let's join the journey. Come with me as I embark on this exciting journey from Cape to Cairo.